Hey everybody, and welcome. My name is David, and thanks for joining my channel here at Let It Go and Let Flow. Today's video, we're going to talk about forgiveness. So, forgiveness is letting go of the past. It's really what it is. So, forgiveness is essential. As a matter of fact, it could be said that our greatest journey in spirituality is to learn how to forgive. So, an example of that, I woke up this morning, cloudy mind. I received a lot of clarity last night, and it was hard for me to sleep, and things were kind of jumbled up, and all of a sudden, my mind was really stuck on a lot of things that weren't going well. I wish this was better. I wish this was better. We all kind of understand this idea. We would call it an idea of insistence, an expectancy and an insistence. I expected things to be better, and I insist that they should be better than they are. So therefore, there's a blockage of energy because now things are supposed to be different. They're not supposed to be like this. They're supposed to be like this. And you get the memo. So there's an insistence. And insistence always equals resistance. So any resistance you have in your life, you could be sure there's an insistence somewhere. Somewhere along the line, we're not aware of our vibration. We're not aware of the connection to the mind of God and to source that we are, and everything is flowing in perfectly, just as it should, according to where we are. And yet we think we should have more, we should be more, and therefore we push against the flow of the whole universe because they know better than we do, so to speak. And that's the idea of being humble, relax, and be humble, you see. So now this idea of forgiveness. So when I was sitting there, my mind was really all jumbled up. We all kind of know the fact, and it's thinking of this and then pushing against others, and really kind of moving against certain people or moving against certain things in my life. And there's this feeling of kind of congested. As I sat there and I said, okay, I usually go quiet the outside mind. The outside mind is always that pesky part of us that wants everything to be different. Quiet that mind, quiet that mind. What can I find? I ask Source, what can I find? What can I find? And then immediately the idea of forgetting the past is what came in. If you look at Course in Miracles, and I've done the Course of Miracles in the workbook, and if you are, that's wonderful. And if not, I recommend it. But the whole point from the beginning in 1 year's time is to move into the holy instant. Now, what's the holy instant? The holy instant is no past, no future. No past, no future. Just everything coming in, and as it comes in, as the world unfolds to us, it erases what was there, and it always does. So everything is like one point. It's just turning into something else, turning into something else. Can you see? It's been equated to like a TV station, TV, the picture tube. It has all this information coming in, but it's just one picture tube that everything's coming into, so it's replacing itself. Tai Chi has a lot to do with this because we use the same parts to then transform into another move. So you kind of have to get that idea of there is no long journey that we're on. The journey is replacing itself over and over and over and over. And this creates an ever-present moment, eternal flow, eternal moment of energy. There is no moments. It's kind of like a ladder that's one rung, and then that rung turns into another rung and turns to another, and it keeps on disappearing as it goes up, so to speak. That way, when you're at the top, you can't blame the second rung back down. I can't believe that wasn't there. You see, it brought you where you are. So it's this understanding of unfolding and allowing. So as I was holding on to the past in my mind, it was causing lots of congestion. So I let it go, and I sat with this moment, and I let go of the past and future. Now, how do I let go of the past? I let go of the past through forgiveness. Of course, I have a lot of experience through forgiveness, and I certainly recommend it. I started working forgiveness many years ago, and this is always an essential part. Forgiveness is simply understanding one big thing first, that there is only one source energy, and we are all part of it. We could call it the mind of God. Our minds and what we think and what we experience in what we call our minds is joined with everyone else. We are all one energy source. Our bodies are separate. This causes a problem. Our minds are together, our bodies are separate. So we start believing our minds are separate, like our bodies are separate. And this causes a lot of chaos. So this is really big to understand. That as you look upon your brother and sister and see sin or see problems or see something you don't like, you then see it in yourself. Has to be done because our minds are joined. So this causes a lot of resistance. Now, there's a lot of things out there we get that we don't like. Things happening here and here and here and here, and I don't like this and I don't like that. But that's what free will is. So I've learned in my life, let people be. They're allowed to make ridiculous decisions. They're eternal. It's just a temporary journey. Everybody ends back to God. Everybody ends back to love. Everybody gets that idea of grace, you see, which just on complete new, fresh, new, fresh, new. Source does not see guilty. It does not see sin because the energy would have to stop and, well, I don't know how am I going to get this energy going. It just says, what's next? What's next? What's next? No big deal. Okay, you want to do that? No problem. What's next? What's next? What's next? So we have to find some way to get more into the mindset of where source is. This idea of forgiveness. Nothing has actually occurred because it's all part of their journey. It's all part of our journey. Everything is perfect. Everything is the way it should be. We hear this a lot. We just don't want to believe it. But when you don't believe it, then you hold other people hostage where they are. I don't like them there. And then you will hold yourself hostage with them. And then now the moment cannot be perfect just the way it is. We can't just enjoy the breath and this presence. That's what life really was about. Enjoying this moment right here, right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. We hear this all the time. Right now, right now, right now. But the only way to enjoy right now is to let go of what was. Imagine if you're watching TV and one of those frames didn't let go and now all of a sudden it's still lingering. You're trying to watch the next frame and then that one doesn't let go. Can you see the separation? It's going to show you something completely different than what's supposed to be there and it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. It's kind of like watching a bunch of in-screen TVs. You have like 15 different programs on one screen. You're trying to move back and forth and they're all over the place. Isn't that what we're doing as we hold on to the past? We try to hold on to something that is gone. Its whole purpose was to give birth to what you're experiencing now. Ooh, think about that. I can get into an argument last night, and yet it gave birth to the clarity that I received this morning. There's no loss. A loss can give birth to some kind of gain. Do you see? We as we learn to put these things together, you will see there's no reason for past. There never was, because there's nothing to repent for. There's nothing to find. There's no innocence to find. You just are innocent. There's no guilt because we're connected, and guilt is separation. You see, so this idea that we have to go find our way through our problems is not true. Or we have to repent for the problems that we have done and all the crazy things that we have said is not true either. It's just what's next. Energy flowing, energy flowing, energy flowing, energy flowing. You see, if the radio station is not tuned in, we just tune it in. That's it. We just, okay, I'm going to tune it in now. I'm going to move it a little bit more. Oh, there it is. Okay, now it's tuned in. Oh, over here it's not. Do you see? And that's kind of what us. If we're not tuned in, there's that guilt, there's that sin, there's where I was this morning. Oh, blah, blah. Things are not good, things are not good. That's not true. Things are amazing. And as I tune in, boop, oh, man, things are great. Things are wonderful. So I've learned that when you feel that, the only thing that needs to happen is to let go of the past and let go of future. Sit in the moment, the now, where there is no sin, there is no guilt, there is no separation. There's just now. So now, what source has decided to bring you and where you're at, guess what? They match. That's the key. If where you're at, which is where source has decided to bring you, where the universe has brought you, and you're not happy there, can you see? You guys are not going to match. That's going to cause dissonance. But if you become happy, satisfied where you are, regardless of where you are. I love this. I say this all the time. Circumstances, situations doesn't matter. Only how I feel about them matters. Circumstances don't matter. How I feel, my state of being is all that matters. I need to agree with where I am. I need to agree with who I'm with. I need to agree with where I am. Do you see? Because that's what causes the issue. And anytime I don't, that's what forgiveness is for. But that person did that to me. They are innocent. They are allowed. They are. And you're allowed to do where you go, and they're allowed to do where they go. That's just the way that it is. And the more we allow, the more we let go, the more we stop punishing others, guess what? We will stop punishing ourselves, because you cannot punish someone without punishing yourself. You have to kind of sit with that. You can't. It's impossible. You cannot put someone in a prison without putting yourself into a prison at the same time. We are joined, and it's important that we finally sit and understand this truly. We are one. We are one. You cannot judge anything without judging yourself. You can't. Everybody is just a reflection of where you are. It's a reflection of yourself. And you can see them as love and appreciation, even if they don't see themselves there. I have another thing that I say. It's like, look, everybody loves me. And if they don't, it's the problem that they have with themselves, not me. You see? Because we are unconditionally loved. We are unconditionally loving each other. We are one. And if someone doesn't like you, then that's the problem they have with themselves, not you. Not you. This will help you let go and find that forgiveness, because forgiveness never comes from someone else. It always comes from our mistake, our misperception about them, seeing them not as innocent for whatever reason that we have decided. They have free will. They are allowed. And as we let go and realize there's a bigger picture that we don't know. I mean, I'm a little tiny drop of water out of an ocean. What do I know as I look out there and say, that person should be here? I don't know what's going on. I run a school. I have people coming and going, but they don't show up, or if they don't train, and I sit back and say, well, you should be doing this. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know where their mind is. I don't know where they are. Do you see? Not to mention, Source is running this. There's a huge, massive energy source that is taking care of everything. Trust the mechanism. Trust the synchronicity. Trust where it is. Somehow, believe it or not, there are no victims or perpetrators. We have to let go of this idea that we think we know what's going on out there, because that's what's causing us all of our grief. It's simple. As we look out in the world, no matter what we look at, if we do not like it, we do not like ourselves. We bring it back upon us like a mirror reflection. Therefore, we must be seeing it wrong. There must be something missing. That's why I always say it's the broader perspective sees it a little bit differently than us. So the best thing to do is to sit back and forgive. If you can't forgive, man, that's just unforgivable. Then ask Source. Sit back and say, what am I not seeing here? How can you help me see the truth here? I know that we are all joined, and I know there is only love and well-being. And therefore, I can see that this soul is certainly not on that path. Can I send them love? Can I send them forgiveness? Can I see them in a way of innocence, so I can be innocent? Otherwise, if you see them as guilty, then you hold their sins. And that sin then goes into the body and causes separation, and that's where all pain and resistance comes from, you see. We have a dilemma. We're all connected. Our minds are one, and our bodies are separate. And our minds tend to believe they are the bodies. So they believe they're separate. So they talk and they argue about others, you see? And we attack them and judge them. In the meantime, guess where it goes? Yes, right back to us. Boom, 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 right back to us. And guess where that goes? Boom, right back into the body. Yes, you guessed it. That's a dilemma. So that's why the holy instant, that right now moment, no past, no future, I forgive, I let go. How can anyone be guilty if there's no past? Think about it. Let it go. Let them go. Let the situation be as it is. Go with the flow and trust the mechanism. Trust that Source knows what it's doing. Trust that I'm a limited perspective and there's a broader perspective running the ship, and I'm going to trust it, and I'm going to forgive, and I'm going to find innocence so I can find it within me, and I'm going to be one with the mind of God, that one mind that we all belong to, and let people be the separation that they want with that mind. That's on them. That's on them. and we let go and come back to our own peace and love of who we are. And now you reflect back connection to them. You reflect back love, even when you should be angry. And guess what? It affects them. They will see those reflections. They will remember who they are. Let people go. Forgive them as you forgive yourself. Find innocence in the world so you can be innocent. See the reflection? And then the energy can flow within you. And that's the most important thing. How you feel. Is your energy flowing or not? Get your energy flowing, and everything you want will come. And boy, let me tell you, I was at bliss this morning when this finally came in. I wanted to share it with you guys. I hope this helps. Take this with you. And of course, as always, it is your choice what you receive. If you like this, hit the like button and subscribe. And my unconditional love and appreciation.